Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm sorry it's been so long since I've posted here, but I'm actually working on videos on a different YouTube page and also posting a lot of stuff on TikTok. So that's why a lot of stuff hasn't been being posted on here. I will still occasionally post on this channel for different current events as well as political and sociological issues. But if you want to see more of my content, particularly that which relates to true crime and the more macabre aspects of history, feel free to check out my other channel, which is going to be linked down in the description below. And I'm going to have a lot of content there. There's videos up there already, and I'd love to see you there. So thanks for listening, and on to the video. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the menagerie. Today's monster has never actually killed anyone, yet he is partially or directly responsible for the murders of 168 people and the injuries of another 800 in the worst terror attack in the United States prior to 9/11. On April 15, 1995, Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols detonated a vehicle filled with 4,800 pounds of ammonium nitrate fertilizer, destroying 1/3 of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in Oklahoma City. Upon his arrest shortly thereafter, among many white nationalist items, authorities found pages from the infamous book The Turner Diaries. The Turner Diaries was written in 1978 by William Luther Pierce under the pen name Andrew MacDonald. The story depicts a violent revolution in the United States which leads to the overthrow of the federal government, a nuclear war, and ultimately a race war which leads to the systematic extermination of non-whites. McVeigh was obsessed with this book and sold it at various gun shows along with the various firearms that he was selling at the same time. The plot of the book revolves around a race war started by the government taking the guns of all citizens, forbidding, quote, white people from defending themselves from acts of violence, as well as uncovering a group of, quote, blacks who murder and cannibalize white people. These are just a few brief examples of the kinds of crazy that this story tells. One other notable point to mention is that the book is also where the term the Day of the Rope became popularized. In the story, it is the day when the protagonists, known as the organization, drag all supposed, quote, race traitors, judges, politicians, intellectuals, interracial couples, and of course Jews, among many others, out of their homes and publicly hang them in the streets. The book was a clear and profound inspiration for McVeigh and the atrocity that he committed. But what about the book's author? I'm an American, and I personally hold free speech as sacrosanct. Unless one is directly telling people to commit violence or making false declarations with the intent of causing violence, it should not be prohibited by the government. But this principle is not without consequence, because people like William Luther Pierce, the author of the Turner Diaries, are people who are listened to, and some of those listeners take action. And today, this sort of fanatical rhetoric isn't relegated to the obscurity of small publications or limited groups of activists. It's broadcast worldwide through people like Tucker Carlson, Alex Jones, Jared Taylor, Nick Fuentes, and the list goes on and on and on and on. And we're seeing the consequences constantly now. January 6th and the Buffalo shootings being two examples that immediately come to mind. So given that some monsters don't necessarily have to commit violence to cause chaos and mass casualties, how do we combat monsters like this and atrocities like this while preserving our right to free speech? I wish I had an answer. I really do. But unfortunately I don't. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments because this is a problem that is only getting bigger as time progresses. So with that, thank you for listening. And with that being said, take care and I'll see you all on our next trip through the Monster Menagerie.